So next up is Aaron McEuen from Starlight Productions. He's going to talk to us about virtual reality dome casting. Take it away, Aaron.
Hi, Benjamin. Can we also unmute Tony?
Tony, I think, should be able to unmute himself.
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, good.
All right. So both of us will be presenting.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. I am Tony Butterfield, and here we are 1 year later.
Hold on a second, Tony. Let me get the screen shared here before we start. And cue up our little presentation here. And we shall get going here. There. I'll make sure I'm on the right page. All right. Queuing up everything here and get everything in order. All right. I think
the previous slide.
There we go. Buttons. Thank you. All right. Go.
Welcome again, everybody. We gave this presentation last year as an introduction to VR, and here we are 1 year later at the second virtual WAC conference.
Since then, we have been shifting and learning from the classroom to the internet and virtual students versus in-person students.
Quickly, we all had to learn how to adapt to a new educational environment. Here's an example of a schedule for students, which includes time for a virtual field trip. We just happened to be working on virtual field trips before the pandemic.
We focused on how VR is changing our world and how we can use it in the framework of education. Our VR work from the past gave us experience today to help cope with our changing pandemic environment.
We used the VR headsets in Africa and newly organized social VR platforms to show what other educators are also doing. We took what we learned and applied it to our planetarium industry, and we quickly learned how closely related VR and planetariums are with regards to immersive education.
In a VR platform called Altspace, we hosted a few online immersive events and worlds that we designed. We even celebrated with a rocket party for the US returning to space. Later, we started to use a different platform called Engage, which had some advantages over Altspace. One of the things accomplished here was creating a virtual planetarium. From this, we found that we were able to achieve true dome casting to VR. On April 30th, at the Immersive Conference, we presented our true dome casting. It was a huge success. Here is an example of the conference we held in Engage and in Zoom simultaneously, something that we should be doing from here forward with planetarium conferences in VR. I'm going to just let this play for a moment just so you can see how we have our avatars walking around, socializing and engaging together.
We also had a cameraman walking around, and that cameraman transmitted what he saw into the Zoom audience that didn't have headsets. We demoed both several real-time planetarium software systems and pre-rendered full dome content.
We're switching right now from Digistar to dome video, full dome video playback.
I think in this clip, this is a full dome video.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
And a little list there of a few systems we've been checking out.
Right. And so what was exciting was unlike in the past where Domecasting was not interchangeable between platforms, we were able to take several different astronomy packages like Digistar, Stellarium, OpenSpace, and even the real-time pre-rendered clips, and combine all that on the fly and play it on a dome in the virtual world. The thing that was also exciting is that the people that didn't have headsets was also able to participate in Zoom. This now opens up an unlimited audience, and it now allows for lectures to be presented and to break that barrier of having cross-platform incompatibility. So what's up for next for us? Well, we're still moving forward with several different projects. We've come up with an idea for show distribution of planetariums called a VR dome casting network. This is a way for content providers to have yet another outlet for their material. Another project we're working on is an educational VR space sim called Artemis Mission, which is a educational lesson that goes through the steps of how we are going to build a rocket and land and explore the South Pole of the Moon at Shackleton Crater. And as always, we're creating more immersive educational material.
And as you all know, there's so much more to learn and to talk about. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and we are all in this together, as we have all been hearing the last year and a half or so. And we are now open for any questions, as I would like to take you through and demonstrate to you how we can show you engage in Zoom. I'm going to stop this screen sharing here and share my engage. And here we are. This is a 2D version of engage that you can do on most computers. And we're flying around now. If you had a headset, of course, it would be more wrapped around you, as you know how VR headsets are. And go ahead, Tony.
In June, it finally was made available for both the Mac operating system and iOS. So that means on a tablet or an iPhone, this is all available. So what's exciting about this is that you can have these educational experiences. They can be pre-recorded, so you can have a lecture that is repeatable and duplicatable, but there is no limit as to who can access it. You don't need a headset. You don't need, well, if you have a Windows computer, you can use a Mac computer. So all devices can access both a 2D mode and a 3D mode.
And tablets and smartphones. And just the assets of models, locations, field trips, I mean, the incredible library that comes with Engage. I mean, it's just incredible, the vast amount of content that is in here already. When you can build your dome video shows on our domes that we have in here, and then you can put three-dimensional objects. As you can see, you got a SpaceX Falcon rocket there. You got all our probes there. You can have these probes fly out from your screen and animate the stuff, keyframe the stuff, and continue just to there's no words, really. I mean, you get the idea. I think you really do.
That's basically about it. And this was demonstrated on April 30th at the Immersive conference. And here we are following up what we started 1 year later as a way to show immersive education, not only in a planetarium, but also in a headset. The tools are interchangeable and the content is interchangeable. So with that out of the way, we are
Any
open
questions?
for questions.
Thought I'd take you to the Saturn V, give you another example of the immersive capabilities of Engage.
Make an example.
Shh. It's my roommate.
And like we had said, you can have lessons that are pre-produced and queued up and in a can. So once you have created a world and created a lesson, then you can save it and it will have the consistency so that each class will have the same exposure to the same material. And like we were saying, this is yet another outlet for content providers to be able to distribute their material. The idea, that's about it.
All right.
Aaron?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you see this helping planetariums to engage a new audience?
Go ahead, Tony. I'll let you go.
Yeah. So this is what the whole point of this is that you can now go beyond the number of seats in your theater. You could now have lectures advertised, promoted, and tickets sold to anybody on the internet. So if there's a planetarium show at 2:00 in the afternoon on Wednesday, then not only can people go to the theater and buy tickets, but they can also see and experience the same presentation worldwide. If you have a special lecture series, then that would allow for people anywhere on the internet to buy a ticket and participate in that special lecture series. So the idea is this is opening up your audience to more than the number of seats that is in your theater. And since everybody is doing presentations and scheduled events, then allowing for more people to get access to these presentations, this is what the network that we're generating of a calendar of events, so that if somebody in New York is hosting an event or somebody in Miami is hosting an event, then this is a collaborative effort and you could participate in a audience environment. This is kind of the glue or coming together of all these educational resources, especially during this hard time of the pandemic, and using our time, talent, and skills as educators to expand our audience to just more than what's in the seats.
Engage.
I hope that answered.
Sorry. Engage. Sorry. Engages soon, in a very short order, will have the necessary networking to be able to sell tickets for events in their setup. So if you wanted to Domecast from your planetarium, which I have begun discussions with the Clark, the Yacht Planetarium, and Rick and I even talked about it up at Twin Falls, to cast from their facilities, their system. And this will eventually, it's going to take time to set it up to where if they have a live lecture going on, we cast the audio. And even with a camera, casting a 360 camera or whatever camera from their planetarium, we can cast all this into Engage and have their event being broadcast out. We can sell a ticket to that event. And
this is
go ahead.
Perfect for IPS next summer. Because with it being in St. Petersburg, there's going to be some barriers of being able to have a budget to travel and the visa requirements. So now we can actually have, like this conference, we can have other conferences being able to have the same content being distributed. So IPS Next Summer is a perfect example of how this is a valid resource, because getting to St. Petersburg is going to be kind of a challenge for people in the West.
So let me break in here because we're officially out of time, but we'll be able to visit you in the vendor booth. So look for them, and actually right after the next presentation, we'll be opening the vendor booths.